The Blocktalk Podcast started because of my passion for the property management industry. I wanted to start a conversation and add some value within the industry with a diverse range of people and professionals who can add something extra. As we start out, my aim is that the podcast offers some useful insight into a variety of views, opinions, thoughts, and foresights from our guests, who include business leaders and industry experts. If you enjoy the podcast and want to find out any other information, head on over to brianwelsh.co.uk. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Blocktalk Podcast with me, Brian Welsh, and Jaxx Bruce. So today we are doing just a kind of CPL download of what's happening in CPL. We do this kind of once a quarter, and so we're joined by Crawford today as well. So Jaxx, how are you doing?
I'm good. Just back from 2 weeks off on a sort of holiday, a stay-at-home holiday, so feeling pretty chilled. I was just saying to Crawford there, actually, the last couple of days was hampered by, I had a little bump to the head at the gym on a cupboard, so it wasn't even when I was exercising. I banged my head getting equipment on a cupboard on the wall, and I didn't think anything of it until I got home later that day, and I was actually sick before I went to bed.
Oh dear.
And then I was sick again when I woke up on Sunday morning. So I think it actually.
So why are we laughing about this? Yeah, that's.
I know. Right, yeah, I was thinking maybe I'll go to sleep tonight and not wake up. I was going to message one of my friends to say, "Can you check that I'm still alive in the morning? Not that you could do anything anyway."
Slight issue if this podcast goes out and then you're not, then that's gonna be a problem.
No. But yeah, no, it was good. I went down to Troon for a wee jaunt and had a nice wee spa afternoon and amongst other things, and just chilling, so it was good. And you've been to...
I've been to Las Vegas. I've been to Las Vegas. I got back last night, actually, so I'm pretty tired today. So yeah, I have a twin brother, which you guys know, and we were both 50, believe it or not, a couple of years ago, and we were meant to go in May 2020, but that got cancelled. So we were there for just over a week. So it was good fun. Although I think I need another holiday to recover from it because it was pretty full on for the time we were there. But no, it was excellent. It was excellent. Caught up with a friend who lives in LA. And stuff. So yeah, it was good fun. Crawford, how are you?
Yeah, good, Brian. Thanks. I'm the only one that's not had a holiday.
You did have a couple of days off.
But to be fair, I did have a couple of days off at the end of last week, and that was great. I just keep on looking out the window, thinking the sky's definitely getting bluer and the clouds are getting thinner. But unfortunately, we still don't seem to be getting anywhere near the kind of temperatures that we had last year, and it's already towards the end of May, so I'm hoping summer's around the corner somewhere.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. When in Vegas this time of year is meant to be about 28 degrees. I've been to Vegas a couple of times in the past. I've always gone in July, and it is just unbearably hot. I mean, it's 40 odd degrees, and so it's meant to be 28. And for the first 5 days we were there, it was 38, and I really struggled. I have to say, I really struggled. But even anything in the low 20s would be nice at the moment, wouldn't it? So,
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we have a few things to discuss today. First of all, talk about the team within CPL. So there's been a bit of change around in the last, well, not change around, but a few different things in the last 3 months. So Crawford, who's been with us for a number of years, Crawford's now our professional services director. So he is effectively in charge of anything that is client facing, so support, training, and account management. So Crawford, do you want to just talk to us a bit about how that's been going over the last few months?
Yeah, I mean it's quite a kind of diverse role and covers everything which we do pretty much, which is non-technical. We have had some challenges, I guess, inside the sort of support side of the business over the last couple of years, and we're hoping that some of the expertise, I suppose, and experience that I bring in terms of the customer service side of things should have an influence on that. We also plan to have a couple of changes certainly inside the support team and some changes to our processes. So hopefully our clients start to see the benefit of that over the forthcoming months. So that's all really, really positive. And to be fair, we are starting to see some of those changes coming to fruition just now, and the feedback that we've had from clients already has been nothing but good. That's not just down to me, that's down to the team, so I'm not taking that one completely on my own shoulders. But that's one of those feel-good ones for me. And sometimes it's not just about the bringing on new business. Sometimes it's about improving what we can do with our existing clients, and that's one of the things I think we're really conscious that we can definitely work better on within CPL at the moment.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Charlotte's been with us for just over 5 weeks now, and I think she's probably spoken to quite a few of our clients already. And I think that's, we have a move towards making our support better, and it's something we've been working on for a number of months now. And I think she's made a great inroads to that already, to be honest. And I think a lot of the clients will have already spoken to her. And also Sarah, who is, I guess, finance and my PA, or my assistant, has been for many years. She's moved into to help Karen Ann in training. I mean, she's got a degree in real estate management that she did a number of years ago. So she understands the industry, but more maybe from a commercial point of view, but certainly it's all relatable to residential. So that's great. She obviously got a board looking after me. So she's going to be still doing finance one day a week, but the rest of the time doing training with Karen Ann. I think she's loving that, and it just brings another body into that department as well. So that's all been good. So what else do we need to talk about? Yes, so I think a number of the team have pets, but Liam, one of our developers, his partner, there was some, I'm not sure where she works, can't remember, so that's terrible. But they had some ducks, and I think they were just going to get rid of them, so she didn't want that to happen. So they fostered them for a while, until they could find a permanent home for them. And I think they have now found a permanent home, and I think Liam still goes to visit. So you've posted a lot on social about this, haven't you, Jaxx?
Yeah, there's videos and cute pictures and whatnot. So yeah, if anybody wants to go and have a wee look, just scroll back through LinkedIn and see them. I'm sure there'll be more updates to come on that, because it's
cool. And Jack still hasn't transferred onto a new laptop, you should hear, because it's about to take off. So.
Yes, I am waiting on getting help to set up a new laptop, absolutely.
Do you know one of the things I found really amazing about the ducks was that when we had our staff catch-ups, whether it was on the Skype chat or whether it was on the Zoom calls, almost every single person that we had on the chats wanted to know what was happening with the ducks. Like there was great engagement between the developers and the people that work in the back office, and it was amazing. It just seemed to be a real focus for people for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, it wasn't it? Yes, I have to say I'm not an animal person, even though I do have a dog. I don't know where he is. He's gone off somewhere. But then that wasn't my choice. I didn't even know he was arriving when Arthur arrived. So, but I now love him to bits, obviously. Okay, so what do we talk about now? Shall we talk about May is Mental Health Awareness Month, isn't it? So, Crawford, you posted something about this the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that one of the things that struck me has been the amount of mental health stuff that's been put on to LinkedIn. So Best HR, who are our HR company, they actually put up a really interesting post at the start of the month that said one of the local cafes in Glasgow has 2 hours on a Monday night where there are a number of mental health counsellors that you can actually you can go and talk to, and it's not a service that you charge that's billable. It's not something they charge for or anything like that. It's just a case of going down and getting the opportunity to have a cup of tea, and it just made me think. And then I just found it incredible, the number of guys that were putting stuff up on LinkedIn, people that you would never have thought would have had mental health issues, very, very successful people, people that were, who I would maybe look at and think, well, that's the excuse me, the sort of good looking crowd, if you like. But the number of people that were putting up comments around, that they suffered badly from depression, and also the number of people that were quite happy to say, these are the tablets I've been taking for a number of years, and these are the reasons why. I just think that's a massive step change in the number of guys, particularly that are actually happily now coming out and are probably addressing their mental health issues, revealing their mental health issues. I don't know what the right term would be, but they're coming out without any fear of either being judged or being in a position where they would then feel threatened around the roles that they have inside their business. And I think that's got to be a positive thing.
Actually, when we did a session with Gavin Percy, we did a podcast with him recently from Balancing Edges. He spoke a lot about the fact that people don't talk about these sort of things. So, and I think people do talk about it a lot more than they used to, which is a fabulous thing. In fact, we've been meaning to get Gavin up to the office to do mental health first aider training with some of the people in the organisation, because quite a lot of people are interested in doing it. So I think that's something that we need to do over the summer at some point and get him up so that we can, because it would be a good thing to do within the business. I think also, we've made a decision that, our development team are now all entirely remote, although we still have an office in Southampton. A couple of the guys have had, one of the developers lives in Glasgow, and he goes in the Glasgow office kind of once a week. But we have another developer who lives in north of London, so he can't commute to Southampton. So I think remote working is, whilst people want to do it, I think there's certainly, it means you need to keep an eye on people a wee bit closer, because you're not just seeing it every day in the office. So, okay, so what and Crawford, you asked me about something the other day about Indigo Swan, the utilities broker who does a lot of work with our clients in Scotland, has a charity bike ride, do they?
Yeah, one of their guys is doing a charity cycle, from Land's End to John O'Groats. So I can't remember exactly how many miles that is. I think don't think it's far short of 1,000. And they've essentially broken the bike ride into a number of sections. So there's 4 sections, I think, where he cycles, or he is cycling through Scotland, and we're going to support them on one of those sections. So I think it's a great thing for us to do. I think it's great for obviously what Indigo Swan are doing, and I just think it's another one of those that kind of helps cement our partnerships with people that are out there, people that support our clients the way we do.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And it's almost a pleasure to be asked to support these things, so, and which we will happily do, help James and his team out. Okay, so the next thing to talk about, I guess, is product. So 2.59 is just released and is rolling out just now. That's got a fair amount of things in it, which has gone out in our release notes to our client base. I think beyond 2.59, what we're going to do is we're going to change the way we do releases a wee bit, and we're going to do kind of mini releases at 2.59 now, which will allow us to put software in and get it released a lot quicker than just having full releases. So, and we have a number of things that we're trying to get into the product in a reasonably quick time frame, and it just means we're more agile at getting software response or software out to our client base.
Sorry, Brian. On the back of the 259 release, Karen Ann's also got a number of webinars lined up for June.
Good.
And so those webinars will give clients the opportunity for her it's the 3 webinars. They focus on the new features on the product. So if anybody wants to join them, the sessions are hour and a half, a couple of hours long, and they just they run through how all the new features work, the ideas behind them, and hopefully that helps people understand what the new functionality is in the new release.
Yep, that's true. And also, so we've also got another Blockworks release coming up, and we've also got another Inspect release coming up. Crawford, do you want to talk about what's in them?
Yeah, so the Blockworks release is, it's going to sound ridiculous, I know, but I'm quite excited about the Blockworks one. Essentially, the Blockworks one will, introduce OCR software to Blockworks. Now, what's the acronym for OCR? Optical character recognition. I can never remember that one, but what it will do is it will allow our Blockworks clients the ability to be able to upload batches of invoices, and essentially the software will read what those invoices are in terms of the developments and also the total, and then post them against the relevant invoice which has been requested from the property management company. That is a huge time saver for any contractor that's out there that's on Blockworks or is about to start using Blockworks. So it'll be really, really good to actually see that in operation. Brian and I have already seen a demo. The guys have done a really, really great job of it, and we're hoping to have that out fairly soon, which is great. With regards to Inspect, one of the things that we've had feedback on Inspect has been the output report that we've had from day one. We've updated most of the pieces of software inside Inspect to make it more streamlined in terms of process and also faster in terms of how you upload and download stuff. But one of the things that we had never really touched had been the actual PDF report that has been generated. So the guys have spent a fairly chunky period of time doing some redesign work on that report, and again, I've not seen the final version yet, but looking forward to that, because I'm hoping that will give some of our clients who are using Inspect just now some good options in terms of the report, in terms of how it looks, how it's generated, and just generally how the style of it looks, because it's another one to look forward to.
Good. Okay, so, and also what we've been working on quite a lot recently is a prototype for our CPL 3 version, which is the next generation of CPL product that's coming out. It's a web-based product, and what we're doing first of all is we are basically creating a common login platform, so you can log into your current version of CPL and CPL 3 with the same login, and then we're going to be adding functionality to that new functionality into the web-based version over the next 9 months, and we're currently have a date for beta of that kind of January 23. So the development team's obviously grown significantly over the last year, 18 months. So they're taking that prototype and making that all work. So that's really exciting as well. Now we can update on that and how we're getting on with it and when we do this next quarter as well. Anything else in development I need to talk about, Crawford?
No, I think that's it, Brian. Yeah, no, that's covered everything.
And just to touch on the podcast as well, I get a lot of messages through LinkedIn and people talking to me about it and how great it is. And in fact, we have people who regularly ask to come on to the podcast as well. And we tend to restrict that to be kind of people who are in the industry and serving the industry just now. So Jaxx, if your laptop has not flown out the window, do you want to update us on a couple of things on the podcast?
Yeah, the podcast's going really well. We're 6 months in actually. September we went live last year, and it just keeps picking up pace, which is really good. So we're now at 1,261 downloads. in that short time, which is excellent. We've had a range of different guests on over that time, people within the industry, as you say, but also people that are not maybe technically within the industry, like Chris Ashurst, who is the gentleman who founded the High Rise Owners Association in Glasgow. As a high-rise owner, as a high-rise tenant himself, he was very aware of the issues around owners associations and getting work done on the property. So he decided to do something about it, and that was a really good chat. He's brought a different angle of conversation to the podcast. So that was out a couple of weeks ago, just so that's the 11th of May. That went live if anybody wants to go back and have a listen. We've also started a leadership series. We've had a couple of guests back on and guests coming back on who have already been on the podcast, but this time with a leadership slant. So James Groves, the MD of Indigo Swan, he is very passionate about leadership and has a very, very amiable, I think, approach to leadership and very fair. And one of his main focuses is on happiness in the workplace, which is really nice to listen to. And it's that's another good podcast to catch up on if you haven't heard it yet. It was released on the 27th of April. So guests coming up, we've got David Lease actually just going live. As we're recording this, that will go live tomorrow. So that's the 25th of May. And on the leadership series, we've got David Reid back on the podcast and Lorraine McDonald as well. So they're coming up in the next couple of weeks too. So you can catch the podcast on through Google Podcasts, through iTunes platforms, and also on Spotify. And there's a podcast dedicated page on the CPL website. If anybody wants to find the best place to go and get it, you can just jump onto the CPL software website and get the Blocktalk page on there.
Excellent. And yes, and I think I post it on my own website on a regular basis as well when they come out as well, don't I? Which is
you do get on brianwelsh.co.uk.
www.brianwelsh.co.uk. So yeah, great. Thanks for that update. So I think that's all we have today, unless anybody, Jax, Crawford, you got anything else you want to add?
No, nothing from me, Brian.
No, just if you're not already following us on social media, we're on LinkedIn, CPL, Inspect and Blockworks. We're on Facebook, and we're also on Twitter with all three brands. So jump on and give us a follow. And if you've got anybody that you want to hear on the Blocktalk podcast, then you can email marketing@cplsoftware.com with any suggestions, either in your own business or if there's anyone else that you would be interested in hearing speak about the industry or their leadership skills, then just get in touch and we'll see what we can do.
Excellent. Thanks, Jax. Thanks, Crawford. Yeah, thanks for listening.